highly stressful times in Camp Massatators as she tries to write an Evite. We're on revision 7 and we still don't have...
I already wrote the Evite. This is the announcement to everyone.
It's trying to be anyway. That's like saying a sock in a teenage boy's bedroom is a kid.
Don't put that in the video.
At long, long last. So last year I came back and there were Santa Ana's and a fire and an evacuation and another COVID shutdown in the brief 2 months I was back. This time so far, the only thing that's gone wrong so far on day 2 is the campground no longer has water. The well out here ran dry, so there's no showers, no potable water. I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm going to shower while I'm back in town. So if you go by the definition that home is where the dive gear is stored, I live in this closet. See, you said you wanted me home, now I can't sit still. And nothing like packing up in the dark, in the campground, in the cold, to go dive in the cold. And Blondie goes to work, and I go to meet Jack. And of course, the ever important details of beach diving are where to find a bathroom and where to find coffee. And the worst part of diving, putting neoprene on. Scuba diving, the closest you can come to flying while wearing 7mm of neoprene in a body condom. So what do you do when you're diving and you don't have access to a shower because your campground's well has run dry? You buy a gym membership and basically use it for showers, because who has time to work out? I'm busy doing things.
Perfect landscape for the new western power.
So whenever you beach dive, it's important to go down and at least eyeball the waves. Because if you don't, you load up all your gear and you get down there and then it's a no-go. Then you got to walk these stairs without even getting to dive. I, of course, use the opportunity to suck down more coffee. So this is Crescent. This is one of the big dive sites out here. We usually go on the north end. That's Seal Rock sticking out of the water out there. And you can see to the left of that is the kelp. That's what we're going to aim for today. So with beach diving, the entry and the exit is always the big deal. Waves can be very variable, and we're carrying large amounts of weight, and so it's easy to get staggered in the sand. We do have a forecast. I actually use a surf app called Magic Seaweed, but right now, I mean, it was predicting 4 to 6 foot waves, and as you can see, this is not 4 to 6 foot. Now, it was also predicting a fair amount of surge, as near as I can tell, so it may be a little rough when we get low, but that's okay. And we usually have swim clubs that are out here. They're the only people, other than the divers, who are out here this early. This is the biggest downside of diving on these things, is you have to go up these stairs, which isn't that big a deal until, again, you have all that dive gear on. And diving really, really beats the crap out of you, let me tell you. We have to park on residential streets, and these are kind of high-income houses, so we have to be really careful. But when we get lucky, we get first park, and we don't have to walk very far at all. So the expectation is these are pretty marginal dive conditions. We've had rough waves for a couple of weeks and a fair amount of surge underneath the water, so I'm expecting a lot of sand. We'll probably get like 10 to 12 foot visibility. That's what Jack and I had when we went the other day, which that's enough. Once you're in the kelp, you don't need to see far. And I'll dive anything pretty much. And then there's the seemingly universal rule that I get here and the waves go up. So kind of our standard easy dive is we enter right there, go out to where you can just see the rocks breaking, go around the corner, and then there's kelp that's at about 30, 35 feet. If we go further, going around Seal Rock is really cool. There's a bunch of features and you can sometimes see sea lion, seals out there. It's just a long swim. And then there is something called Dead Man's, which is way, let's see, out there. It's down at 50 feet, It's a little hard to find, and the air goes kind of quick, especially if you've got some newer folks along with you. Our dive length here is generally controlled by how much air we have left. And the more you dive, the less you breathe, basically. At first, it's very kind of stressful underwater because it's loud and stuff's happening and you're being pushed around. So you go and you blow out so much air, you go through your tank in not much time at all. Worst I've seen was like 15 minutes on a tank. I can make, in warm water, in calm conditions, I've made 70 before on an 80. 80 liters, the standard tank. Today is more of kind of a checkout dive. I'm waiting for Andy here. He's a coworker from when I was still in IT. So he hasn't dove since I left, I think. So we're just gonna check out the gear, go out, do some easy stuff in the kelp. I just like getting underwater. This is why I want to get a job diving, because like on the boat, I was happy. Get underwater. I love dealing with people, so